Hey there guys, today I wanted to look at all the new trophy skins that got added with the Firebirds update. There are some incredibly artistic people uploading skins to War Thunder Live, so it's always interesting to see which ones Gaijin decides to implement. To be clear, this is just for fun, and these are just my opinions. I'm not trying to crap on anybody's work. If you like this format and want to see more similar content, my Esports 3 trophy skin tier list is linked in the end screen, and if you think I have horrible opinions, please personally attack me in the comments below. It really helps out with the algorithm, and let's get straight into it. Alright, starting out we have the Wraith Camouflage for the F-16C. I mean, black and red is always a cool look on these things, although this isn't really kind of the wackiest camouflage I've seen in this batch, so I think I'm probably just going to give this a C tier. I don't really have any strong feelings about this one. Next we have the Faith and Victory Camouflage for the Tiger 2H. So this is kind of cool. It has this sort of like pre-finish color on the top in here. A lot of detail. Yeah, I mean, I like all the detail and stuff. I don't know if I would run this over some of the others. I'm still going to put it, I think, in C tier. Like, no super strong feelings, but this is nice. Clearly a lot of attention to detail, and someone put some work into this, so yeah, I think C tier is fair. Next we have the Geometry Camouflage for the Boxer MGS. So, right off the bat, something kind of unique about this is this particular camo scheme I think would kind of work in both desert and snow maps, which is kind of cool. It's pretty clean looking, it's got some decals on it. I think I'm going to put this one in B tier. I think I definitely run this. This is kind of a utilitarian camouflage on top of looking cool, so yeah, I think B tier here. Next we have the D-Day 75th Anniversary Camouflage for the F-15E. This is kind of nice. I mean, I'm always a fan of like adding historical camouflages like this. I don't know that I would rate this very high from like an aesthetic perspective. Like, I don't feel super strong that I'd like pay money to run this instead of the default. So I'm gonna put it in a neutral C tier, but I mean, still, like, nice camouflage. I'm happy someone made this. Next we have the blue tricolor camouflage for the J10A. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I know some of you guys aren't gonna like this, but I'm a huge simp for these like PLA, like blue and gray camo patterns they have. This is A tier. I just love the way these things look. It just looks like, the bad guys out of some movie or some crap like that. Like, it's just so sleek looking. Yeah, definitely A tier for this one. Next we have the Winter Digital Camouflage for the PLZ-05. And I just love, like, digital pattern camouflages. Like, anything like this is usually going to get an automatic, like, B tier or higher for me, unless it's just really ugly. This, though, yeah, I think I'm going to stick it in B tier. I just really like the way these things look. This is kind of a unique pattern. It's got the decals on it, so, attention to detail and everything. Yeah, this is a nice one. B tier. Next, we have the Air Force Flight Test Center Edwards 2005 for the F-117. That's clean. Yeah, this is an A tier. Easy A tier right here. Very big fan of these, like, low-vis gray ones like this. It's just very clean and nice to look at, so, yep, A tier for that. Next, we have the S. Rokov for the Swedish T-80U. Now, to be honest, this doesn't look too different from the default camo. I think it's, or not the default, but this tricolor deforming one. I mean, slightly different color palette, and granted I have this on like minimum scale, but alright, sorry for the intermission, that took a minute for some reason. I do like all the little decals and stuff on this though. The attention to detail is pretty neat, so I think I'm gonna put this in B tier. This is pretty cool. I like this one. Next we have the standard low-vis scheme for the J11A, and this is pretty clean. It's not the most, like, artistic or, like, aesthetic camo I've ever seen, but very pretty, nice to look at, and I think I would say definitely a step up over the default for sure, so I'm gonna put this at B tier. This is a solid upgrade over the default. Pretty nice to look at, so yeah, I think B tier. Alright, next we have the Exercise Cold Response 2010 for the Dutch Leopard 2A6, and let me see, am I mistaken in thinking that this is just the default camouflage with some, like, white put onto it? Yep, pretty much. And also, yeah, dude, this is just like a slightly different version of like the default and the deforming winter. I mean, there's just no reason to spend money on this, quite frankly, so D tier. Next we have the white stripes camouflage for the Object 140. And I mean, you definitely can't knock it for false advertising. It's kind of cool. I mean, I don't really have any strong feelings about this one, so again, I think I'll probably just put this in a neutral C tier, but, you know, it's something different. Can't knock that, so, yeah, I think C tier. Alright, that took like 20 minutes to load in, but it's finally here. The Desert Sand camouflage for the OSA AKM, and god damn is that an ugly camouflage. I almost want to put it in A tier because of how comically bad it looks. I mean, I should say that, like, it's not that the author did it badly, but this is, like, clearly they imitated what it actually looked like, but gosh. I'm gonna have to put it in ew because, like, it's not that it's bad in that it's, like, low effort or crappy. Like, this is actually just awful. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's ew. Sorry. Next we have the VMA 542 Tigers camouflage for the Aviate-B NA. That's kind of neat. I mean, how different is this from the default, honestly? It's kind of just the default skin with a few extra touches on it. I don't really like ones like this. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just gonna stick it in a neutral C tier, like I said. I mean, it's not a bad camouflage or anything, but I don't like these ones where it doesn't really look any different from the default, you know? So, yeah, neutral on this one, neutral C tier. Next we have the 3-color winter camouflage for the T-34-100. That's pretty clean. I like the way this looks, and it's definitely a huge step up over the standards, so... yeah, I think this is a solid B tier. It's pretty nice. You know, it's not the craziest thing ever, but it's a definite step up, so... yeah, I think B tier is fair here. Alright, we got another extremely not aesthetically pleasing OSA camouflage, the Romanian ground forces, and again, there's nothing wrong, like, with the way the camouflage is done, but it looks like poop on the grass, so I'm gonna have to put it in ew. Again, that's not a not a knock on the quality of this, like, design here, but, like, I'm sure this is exactly what it looks like. But god, does this hurt my eyes to look at. That's going in ew again. I don't know why everyone decided to put the worst camouflages on the OSA for some reason. Next we have the 82-0028 camo for the F-15C. This is kind of different. Three-tone thing. This is another one I don't really have super strong feelings on. It's definitely different, but again, like, I don't know that it stands out to me a lot more than some of the others, so I think I'm just going to put this in a neutral C tier. Next we have the Exercise Hardfall camouflage for the Scimitar. This is kind of just a winter camo here, and then somebody forgot to take the old wubby off the back. I mean, this already has 2 winter camos. It's not bad or anything. I just don't really have any strong feelings. I'm just going to stick this in C tier, just neutral on this. Next we have the Tiger Meat 2003 camouflage for the Jaguar E. And this kind of just looks like your run-of-the-mill French Air Force camouflage, but it's got a little bit of furry pattern here. So, not bad or anything, but I don't really feel strongly, so I'm just going to put this one in C tier. Next we have the Algerian Army camouflage for the Super Hind. And I mean, I guess that's an easy A tier if you're Algerian, to be certain. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of just a desert camouflage. I don't really have the strongest thoughts on it, like, compared to this. I mean, yeah, you know, it's certainly not bad or anything, but I don't really have any strong feelings on it. So I think for now, I'm just going to stick this in C tier. Next we have the 36 Fighter Squadron U.S. Army Air Force camouflage for the P-400. I like this. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, the default camo already has one of these, like, funny little shark noses on it, but this is a much better one. I like the derpy frickin' shark noses, so... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put this in A tier just because of how much I like this thing. Just Helen, little derpy shark. That's funny. Yeah, this is A tier. I like this. Next we have the Michigan National Guard camo for the M48A1. I really like that. That's a really cool camouflage. I wish we could have that, like, as an option in-game for all these American vehicles. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna give that a B tier. I quite like this, actually. As much as I absolutely despise the vehicle it's on, but aesthetically, yeah, that's a B tier, I think. Oh look, another OSA. This time it's the Indian Army Digital camouflage for one of the British tech tree. And, you know, this one is not as awful to look at as the other two, actually. So I'm gonna give this a D tier instead of an U. You know, again, this also hurts my eyes, but not nearly as much. So, yeah, this can pass with a D tier, I think. Next we have the experimental camouflage for the STB2. This is kind of interesting. It kind of looks... I'm pretty sure there's a camouflage that is like... Yeah, it's like a digital version of this one. So... You know, I like it's got all these like decals and stuff on it, though. I think I'm still gonna put this in B tier. It's a little wonky looking, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I think B tier. Next we have the 360 camouflage for the Yak 3. And I think this is kind of just the default with some decals stuck onto it. Yeah. It's not bad, and actually it looks a little bit cleaner than the default, to be honest, but I think I'm still just gonna put in C tier. Yeah, not really strong feelings about this. It's not bad or anything, but like I said, it's kind of just the default with a little bit of extra detail on it, so yeah, I think C tier. Next we have the Russian Coast Guard camouflage for the Bravi. And you know what? I'm putting this in A tier. I like this. I like the Coast Guard camos that you get for some of these boats. I just think they're super, like, clean, and it's kind of comical to have the, you know, Coast Guards taking part in this, so... Yeah, I just really like the way this looks. I think this is an A tier for me, even though I don't play boats almost ever. Next we have the JG3 Udet camouflage, the BF-109 F2. And, hey, look at it. Looks like there was something on this tail here. I wonder what it was. I can't quite see it now. Anyways, it's kind of got an interesting pattern on it. I like this little thing. I don't know. Is that its tongue or is that fire? The Germans had such a goofy little cartoons on their planes. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I mean, I kind of like it. It's kind of clean. It's not my favorite thing ever, but still pretty solid. So I think B tier for this one. Next, we have the Fighting Renegade skin for the F8E. That's pretty clean, especially compared to the default. Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot cleaner. I'm gonna put this in B tier. I definitely like this. If I had this, I would probably buy it, honestly. Yeah, B tier. Alright, Weebs, it's your turn. Here's the special winter camouflage for the Type 10. Doesn't really look like a winter camouflage to me. It's got some speckles. I mean, this kind of just looks like the... Which one is it? There's one of these that it's just like stripes. Sorry. Beige green, is it? No. Sorry, this one. The bicolor green camouflage. This kind of just looks like the bicolor green a little bit with like some speckles on top. So, yeah, I'm going to put this in C tier. I just... It's not bad or anything, but I don't really feel particularly strongly about this. So, yeah, C tier. Next we have the Guardian of the Skies camo for the T-77E1. And, you know, I think this is based off of a children's toy, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some sort of, like, plastic kid's toy where this pattern comes from, which is kind of funny. Yeah, not really any strong feelings about this one either, so I'm just going to put it in C tier. But, yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of different, so can't knock it. Yeah, C tier. Next we have the 66 yellow camouflage for this MI8 variant. It's a perfectly fine, just desert camo, I guess. I mean, yeah, I don't really have any strong feelings about this, I guess. I'm just gonna put it in a neutral C tier, I think. Next we have the 263rd Separate Reconnaissance Aviation Squadron for the Su-22M3. Yeah, see, problem with this one is, like, I mean, it's definitely a step over the default, but there's already one for this that's a lot cleaner, in my opinion. So, I'm gonna have to put D tier for this because it's kind of just green and brown, like, just not really that aesthetic, to be honest. Next we have the Burn 1944 camouflage for the Dunkirk. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you know what? That's quite clean. I really like that. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Again, I don't play boats, but just looking at this, like, this is pretty sick. Yeah, I think that's a B tier for me. Next we have the ZA405 camo for the Tornado GR4. It's a cool historical camo, but dude, that is not nice to look at. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna get some hate for this one, but I'm gonna have to put this in D tier. I mean, bright green with low vis gray is not nice to look at, so yeah, that's gonna have to be D tier, I'm afraid. Next we have the 423 Panzer Battalion 203 for the Leopard 1A 1L44, and this is literally just 3-tone Kark with some decals on it. Yeah. That's automatic D tier. This is literally just a camo you could already get in-game with decals put onto it, so yeah, that's a D tier. Next we have the Swiss Air Force camouflage for the P-16. It's kind of nice looking. I'm not sure I like it quite as much as the tricolor camouflage, which you can get for free, but it does have this very funny little fish cartoon on the nose, and for that reason, I think I'm going to put it in B tier. Next we have the VP-48 camouflage for the PBM-5A. That's pretty clean. I like this. I'm always a fan of, like, the white and blue sort of camo on some of these Navy ones. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that in B tier. I like this. Like, compared to the Navy and the default, I like this better. Yeah, that's going to be B tier for me. Next we have the Germany 1945 camouflage for the Panther II. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think this is actually a new camouflage. I think this has been on the market previously, but, like, the price has gone through the roof due to lack of supply, so I think they're probably including it here to drive this down a bit, but needless to say, this is very cool looking. I do actually have the Panther II, so maybe I should make a video on it at some point, but yeah, that's an A tier for me. I love the way this looks. This is really sick. Yeah, that's an A tier. Next we have the Red Baron camouflage for the FW-190A5, and once again, I'm pretty sure this is one like the Panther II camouflage, where this has been in the market before, but I think that they've put it now like into this new crate because how high the prices were, and I can see why, because this is gorgeous. This is going in Gunner tier. I can see why people were paying like $20 for this thing before. This is absolutely sick, so yeah, that's Goon tier, definitely. Next we have the 836002 camo for the Merkava Mark IV. Guess it's something kind of different. It's kind of an odd, like, brown and desert tan thing going on. It's not the most pleasing thing to look at, to be honest, but it's not bad. It's got a little frowny face right here. Just gonna put it in C tier. Again, this is one I just don't really have any strong feelings on, to be honest. And wrapping it all up, we have the I-15 BIS 18. And not the craziest way to go out. This is kind of just green and brown with a little bit more detail than the default, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's an upgrade, so you know what? B tier. Why the hell not? That's going to be it for this one, guys. For more of this type of content, check out the Esports 3 tier list linked in the end screen. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.